everybody, this is Pastor Scott. I wanted to come with you today with some special guests. I've got Mr. Keith Poston over here, and then I've got Miss Kathy Smith, and she's a good friend of mine. I've got to peek with her. But we're going to talk to you about a very important ministry that we have in Lincoln County. Most of you may have heard of it, but if you hadn't, it's the Hesed House. It's a homeless shelter, and I wanted to bring these guys in to share more because this is the heart of God. I believe this is what God would have us to do, and I pray that all you guys will either, if you're not a pastor and you're watching this, that you go to your pastor and you get them to support this ministry, not only by going up and helping feed and stuff, but monthly support would be awesome. I'm going to go ahead and hit you with that right off the bat. And if you would, just pay close attention as these guys share. So I'm going to turn it over to Keith, let him introduce himself, and Kathy, and then they can go with it. But please listen, because like I say, Matthew 25:31 through 46, it'll tell you what we're supposed to be doing. And part of that is taking care of the homeless, feeding the homeless, giving them clothes and different things like that. That is the heart of God. So we wanted to share this with you today and get a word out. So go ahead, Keith.
Pastor Scott, thank you. Thank you for having us. So we greatly appreciate it. I am Keith Poston, and I am a longtime Lincoln County resident, born and bred right here in the red dirt of Lincoln County. Went off to school and came back and worked in Mecklenburg County for 20 plus years. And then over the last 4 or 5 years, I've been really trying to get back home to serving my community. Everything I've always done has been service work. I've been led by God and called by God to just serve His people, and so I've always tried to do that. So I was fortunate enough to land the executive director role here at Hesed a few years, or a year ago. It seems like it's been 22, and have been here, enjoying it, giving back to my community, doing what I wanted to do, which was in supporting my community and working this out. It's been a joy and a pleasure. So.
Amen. Kathy?
Well, I was born in Gaston County, and when I graduated high school, moved to Lincoln County. And I've been a part of the Hesed House for about 20 years. I started serving with the churches and the community when they moved from church to church. And then we got the Hesed House, we built the Hesed House. And it's just always been my heart, like helping the homeless, helping them. A big part of my thing is trying to help them find housing, find jobs, help them move in. I just love watching them when they can acquire their own place, and they just feel, that they finally, acquired something. I love it when they call me and they're like, can you help me get a bed? Can you help me, do this? And we're moving, move-in day is, so much fun for them. I do attend New Vision. And Pastor Scott has always supported us, I remember the first time I met him was at the prison, and I was attending another church, and my pastor had left. Several pastors had left, and I was filling out my application, and I didn't know what to put down, like who my pastor was, and he came over there, and he said, just come visit our church. You'll never leave, and I've been here ever since.
I can't run her off.
It's been a blessing. So that is a big part. I help with the prison ministry also, and so they're both a big part of of my heart and stuff is to help those in need.
One thing we hear in the community on the Lincoln Town Talk and all that stuff, they're always talking about the homeless and the trouble and the problem with the homeless. Well, a lot of them don't do anything about it, and you guys are. That's what the Hesed House is. A lot of people will talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk, and you guys are doing that, because I go up there and I see it, and then we have women come to our church. So tell me a little bit about the Hesed House, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, and how we can help if you can work all that out.
Absolutely, Pascal. Again, it's so fun. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I have a greater appreciation and understanding myself of what it is and what it's like to be unsheltered, homeless. I do a lot of conversation with churches and schools and folks, trying to help them understand who we are, what we are, and to dispel that stigma of the homeless. And so really quickly, I was at a school talking to some fifth graders. And so we talked about what does homelessness look like. what is it? Have you ever seen anyone who's homeless?
Yeah.
Like, I said, well, tell me what they look like. And one kid raised his hand. He goes, they wear book bags. And I was like, oh, okay. They're dirty. I'm like, the holes in their jeans. And so I said, okay. I said, well, let me ask you guys a question. I said, how many of you guys here had a book bag come to school this morning? Everybody's hand went up, right? I said, Mom and Dad got a good job. How many of you guys got holes in your jeans? Hands went up. And I said, are you homeless? He said, well, no, I'm not homeless. And I said, right? It's that stigma. It's what that perception of what people think of when they see someone homeless. Because they're wearing a book bag doesn't make them homeless. Because they have holes in their jeans doesn't make them homeless.
I wear homeless.
So,
He does.
so it's that for me and for us at Hesed, for our staff and for our board, it's helping our community understand that this problem isn't our problem. This is our problem.
Yeah.
Right? And so we are here to help and to serve and to guide and to direct. That's what it's about. And so again, I've had a great appreciation since for that understanding of what it is about. But there's a lot of success that comes out of Hesed. And so we have, if you don't know, we're tucked away in the back of the Oakland community. We sleep 32 individuals. That's 10 female beds, 14 male beds, and we have 2 family suites. So right now, we stay pretty full. Right now, we are at 22 residents. But again, part of that is because there's been success. We've had individuals who finally found affordable housing, which we all know is non-existent pretty much here right now. Between the county and the city, there's a lot of growth, progress, and I think the one thing that's forgotten about affordable housing and workforce housing. So that's a struggle. Again, that's a struggle for all of us because any of us could be in this situation. So for us, that is what we focus on. One of the things we focus on. But again, because there is success, individuals come in and typically it's supposed to be 4 to 6 months. But I have asked our board to kind of let's look at that process, right? Because again, it could take longer than 4 to 6 months to find affordable housing. And we've had individuals that exceeded that 4 to 6 months, but they found affordable housing. It's a continuous process to work, right? To help them find it. And like Kathy said, the fact that we are dedicated and involved inside of our shelter, there's a lot of love, there's a lot of peace, and there's a lot of every day is not a good day. Don't get me wrong. It's not all roses. But I think for us, and what I try to show on our staff is we are empathetic. We have to help our residents. We do care. I mean, there's going to be ups and downs.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't know anything about it, so the one thing you'll hear a lot of is staff talk about it. We are a and up. So that's what it's about. You know, we know that we're all going to fall. We're all going to have ups and downs. Ebbs and flows in everybody's life. Okay? But when you're down, it might have some of that extend the hand to help you up rather than keep pushing you down.
I believe Jesus said something about that. Maybe he said we're supposed to do that.
Absolutely. So, that's the beginning of what we are. So that's the process, right? And so a lot of folks should understand that to get into a Hesed House, there's a process. We have a clean and sober policy. Right? We breathalyze daily. And so again, there's a lot.
How does
of,
Kathy get the cover?
it's rough.
They check me daily.
We it's so important that we are there to.
So let me stop you
Yes,
there for just
yes.
a second. You breathalyze daily, you do the checks and all that. I think it's important for people to know that you can't just come off the street and just swaggle up in there and think you're gonna get a bed.
Absolutely.
You know, y'all have structure, and I appreciate that because structure makes people get their stuff together, and it makes them know that they've got some accountability. And most people, or a lot of people, are homeless or in prison because they don't have accountability, and y'all are holding them accountable. So tell me again just a little bit about that because I think it's important.
Sure. So again, when you come in, there's a drug screen background check. We do a background specifically because we have children as well on site. And so we have to make sure they're no sex offenders. To make sure we do background. But again, and there's an interview process. So there's an interview process, whether it's with myself to get in or whether it's one of the staff members. And sit down and we talk about, guidelines and rules and procedures. And what we tell them is that there are 4 pillars inside of our house. First one is communication. Doesn't matter what the relationship is in life, pastor to his flock, husband to wife, student to teacher, communication. Right? The second one is to be honest. I am more apt, and we're more apt to help you right? I've been a liar, cheated, abusive, none of us are perfect, right? So we have to be honest. Be honest, and you're going to receive the help. Third thing is to be respectful. Right? To respect each other, respect. The fourth one, which is a tough one, is trust. It's trust. We don't know you, you don't know us. We're kind of dating. So we're gonna date and then we're gonna get to know each other. So those four things will help you. But again, that is a process. So the work is for that individual to do. We're gonna give you guide. We're gonna help you with avenues to get to be, provide you with the resources. But the work's not mine to do. The work's not Keith's to do. It's not Kathy's to do. The work is who's sitting on the other side of that table. So you have to be ready. If you're not ready, chances are it's gonna be a tough. It's gonna be a tougher road. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but it's gonna be a tough. So when folks come to us, we talk about being ready to really get out of the situation you're in. That's how we.
That'd be sticking time. What you had?
Well, we talked about, our extended stay, like our policy is 4 to 6 months. So we do have some people that are ready to make a change. We have some people that are just there to give them a place to stay, temporarily. So we can come up to to some of our people and say, you look for a job today. Have you been to DSS? DSS comes to our place every Wednesday to offer, assistance to our residents, to provide training for them, to help them look for jobs. They provide transportation, to our residents, if they get a job and it's in Lincoln County, they can help them with transportation. So it's up to those individuals to be willing to make that change, not to go outside and sit all day, to go up to Christian Ministries, sit all day. So they have to be willing, to, take baby steps, to grow. Some of those are, some of them aren't. So if they're not, then they're not going to be allowed to stay longer,
Right.
So that's the process that we're working on. If they're willing to grow and to, make those steps, because it
You're
does,
seeing progress.
it does
Yeah.
take longer, we had one lady, who was applying for, apartments, all the time. We were taking her places, DSS was taking her looking for places. She was attending our church.
She's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was just no affordable housing that we could find for her income because a lot of people only get around $850. And it was just not possible. And we had found some apartments that she could afford, but they just never came open. And I was, I prayed with her. I was like, one of those apartments are going to be yours. I know it. Don't give up. I said, you call that place every other week. One of them's going to be yours. And she's in one of those apartments, and it's a very nice apartment, And, I told her, I said, you have to be faithful. You have to trust God. It's on His timing. It's not your timing. And she was worried, my time's up, I'm going to get kicked out. And I'm like, you're doing everything that you possibly, can do. I'm like, things are going to work out for you. You've got to trust God. And, so that's the process that they have to go through, is to be willing to take those steps, to trust God and, to make those steps to get, their own place, to look for jobs. She wasn't able to work, but she had income coming in. She was saving her money. Like,
Right.
We have an account that we, help them save money, that they bring us money and we put up the money for them. Some people don't do that. They just, yeah, we can talk to them, but we can't twist their arm and say, hey, let us put up $25 for you. So that's their choice. We can give them all the guidance that we have, all the knowledge that we have, but they have to be willing to make those steps. So we have a lot of, programs, for them. We've made a lot of changes. One thing that I would like to see some of the churches get involved in, maybe this fall, is that we have a stage that one of the churches built for us, and, it's now has electricity. It's for some of the churches maybe to come out, you know, on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, have some music, or, you know, some worship music, because we do live in a low income, area, and it would be awesome if we could hand out like some flowers and have, you know, some of the kids, some of the families around in that community come out and, you know, worship with us, you know, and,
Well, go ahead and mark us down.
you know,
Yeah.
you know, have hot dogs or some snacks, you know, drinks to hand out and stuff, and, you know, we've redone our playground out there, so we've made a lot of improvements, you know, out there, so I think that would be, you know, great to, you know, do as an outreach program, you know, you know, a couple times in the fall, you know.
Right.
So,
Be good. We'll come.
All right, we got you down.
Tommy's got a guitar, we travel.
right,
So what's your biggest need? What would you say would be your biggest need?
Our biggest need, honestly, really is, you know, and it's crazy to say, but it's the affordable housing. But when you dial that back and how do we get there, right? It's skills, life skills, teaching, and patience to teach our individuals that this is what is needed forward. Like Kathy said, we have a lot of individuals that are working in. Right now, this is low for us right now, but right now we have 24% of our residents, which is a low number. You say, wow, but we've been as high as 70%. However, right now we're in a little bit of a lull where we're not getting folks aren't working.
Yeah.
Not for lack of trying. I mean, they're trying. We've got a lot of young folks in there as well that are trying. One of those things where we're just that's the biggest, bringing the community. How does the community help us and support us? Coming and engage. Now again, we know that it takes finances to make that happen. So we'll always be asking for finances, but what we really need is bodies that are Christ-like to help.
So if there's somebody out there right now that has a business that needs some workers, tell them what they need to do.
Yes, you actually you could reach out to us. You could give us a call at the house. We have a wonderful staff, a small staff of 9, but a wonderful staff that is engaged in the lives of our residents. So you can call at any point in time from 5 p.m. all the way to 7:15 next morning, and you could let us know what jobs are available, what you're looking for, and we'll hand that information out and make sure they get
So
it.
you can kind of pair people with them. If they look for somebody that's a hard manual labor or somebody that's a tech or
There you
whatever.
go.
So okay.
Absolutely. And that's it. I mean, that's the support. And I don't want it to seem like our community does not support us. We get a lot of support. Especially our faith community. However, it's a constant. That's why I love seeing the bodies inside. Just come and engage with our residents and get to talk to them. You're probably gonna get more information than you want to know at some point in time, but just to start that process of engaging, you learn who they are and what they are, and you kind of learn their story. Because everybody's story isn't that they just couldn't do. Yeah, some of them are down on their luck. It's happened.
And look here, if something happens and your church is not involved at this time, that's fine. If you want to come hang out with another church, I know every Saturday night they come and they feed. Ours is like the second Saturday night.
we're the third
We're the
Saturday.
third Saturday night. Get with Kathy or something. Just come and hang out. You can just learn the ropes and see these people ain't gonna bite you. They're friendly. I love going and talking with them and stuff. So, but anyway, well, I appreciate you guys coming in and talking with us. If you got any questions, you can reach out to Hesed House. Keith will be glad to answer any of your questions. But if you would, after you watch this, please like and share. I've been shadowed on Facebook because I preach a little bit of the truth, and so my stuff don't get out as much. So yours might, and it might reach one person, one pastor, one lay person in a church that'll come and get involved. Kind of like Kathy that night at the prison ministry. You never know who's sitting there. And just show some love and share it. But Keith, look here. I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
I love you. I tell everybody I wish I had 100 of her. I wouldn't have to do nothing. But anyway, so any closing words? Anything?
Listen, again, just for those that do support us, we greatly appreciate it. For those that don't understand us, come and get to know us. Right? That's the biggest key. The perception isn't what you think it is. Right? People are down on their luck, and it could happen to you, it could happen to me. Being able to sit here out there watching. So we just want you to understand that you are here to help serve, and so we would love to have you.
And remember, you're either part of the solution or part of the problem. So do something. Don't just talk about it. We got people that you can support that's helping take care of the problem that a lot of people are talking about. God bless you. Love you guys, and we'll see you soon.